semi-final it is between Penrith and Canterbury. Brisbane already through to the final after that recovery against Illawarra to get home by 2 points, 16-14. McCallum to check with both sides, and there'll be plenty of nerves out here. They know the big money that awaits them. We're underway. David Green, who was doubtful just a couple of days ago to take his place, kicks off. Down for big Mark Robinson, determined to play well against the former club. Tronk, who was impressive against Canberra, late on the pass for the final try in the dying seconds for Darren Brown. Newton working it away from the 22, Canterbury. Quickly back for the kick. Darren Brown had support at fullback from McGrady. They used him straight down to his opposite, Green. Maguire's got him, and he's got support from Darren Smith. Paul Smith, upended. It's been the trademark of Canterbury, their defence. Kennedy. Guyer ran straight into a Canterbury man. Now there's a touch judge coming on for a report to McCallum. And I think it's Maguire who's been put down. Maguire went through as a decoy, went without it. The touch judge was quick on the scene. McCallum was also quick to respond. Now through without it. And looking to be just a shoulder charge into Maguire, but the penalty will go to Canterbury. And they will have the first chance in this semi-final, down around near the 22s. Folks quickly for Newton. Likewise for Robinson. Guyer went for another shoulder charge but missed. Maguire. They're setting themselves for a move, Canterbury. Through the feet of Folks. Backwards. Picked up by Tronk. About 15 metres out and right in front of the post. Kevin Moore. McGrady in the line. Short ball for Polamaunta. Put to ground by Fittler, but he got a pass away for Patmore, and they're 10 metres away, Canterbury. From dummy half, Brown tries to steal it down the blind side, but he's wrapped up by Guyer. Last tackle now. Kevin Moore, well taken by Brooke Kennedy on the half volley. And that eases the situation. Willis to bring it away.
Recover in defence there and start to work the edge of the rucks. Now look at that. Folks gets yardage from dummy half. If they can get a quick play of the ball now, they can keep this surge going.
They're trying to keep it going through the kick. Charge down, Carter. Will it pop up? Oh, you better believe it. Beautiful bounce, but great thinking, great pressure from Carter. A player that can do something. He played for it and he got it. 10 out of 10 for Scott Carter. To Stevie Carter, I should say, who charged it down superbly. You watch him travel here. And the bounce was exact. On the Lotto replay, McGrady, as quick as he is, was never going to get there. And Carter just tore away for the first try of the semi.
Talk about picking up the tempo. Look at this. He came like a bolt from the blue, Carter. He was nowhere near that play the ball, but knew that the job had to be done. Came through, forced the charge down, and so showed a good turn of pace.
Well, this could be the straw that broke the camel's back, because Canterbury were travelling well until this try was scored. Scott Carter scores the try, and it was just a great chase from him to charge down the ball.
Carter, he came in to replace Alexander, 20 years of age. Loves to play 5'8", and he loves to play halfback. He's wearing the 7 tonight, and he started the ball rolling.
He just likes to play first grade.
In the big one, the Lotto Challenge. Graham Mackay with the kick, his first of the evening. Well, if either side was trying to get something started in the first quarter, in the opening minutes, a super start for the Panthers. He's taken it back to the 22. Coming around superbly. He makes it full value for Penrith, and they skip clear. 6-0. Mistake from Canterbury in not giving enough support for their kicker, Brown, and it cost them. for Bradley. Knock on. And an important one here. So the mistake from Canterbury. And now from Penrith. Scrum to go down. And just a little one as he tried to half volley it. Jason Smith stepping inside Graeme. Canterbury trying to pick it up now. White pops it up. Brown. He can't keep it alive. Straightening up the Canterbury attack is Castle. 9 metres away, the Bulldogs looking for a try and reply. Folks pleading for a penalty. Kevin Moore. Back up the middle. No way through for him. Brown. McGrady. Looking for a runner, finds Maguire put down. Knocked on by Maguire. He was just trying to pop up a short ball for Maguire. Carter, the try scorer, showing his pace again as Smith had to chase him about 12 or 15 metres. Kennedy. Tremendous head-on hit from Kyle White. Walker.
Some of these Penrith forwards are working hard. They're toiling away, but at the moment, John Cartwright's dragging the chain.
Well, here he is now working, taking his turn at taking it up. Geyer, Canterbury offside. Geyer and Kyle White with plenty to say to each other. White was looking for the hit on Geyer. Carter slows things down a little as he looks for the sideline, gives his forwards a little bit of time to recover. We've had 5 minutes of the second quarter. Kai for Simmons for the restart. 2 balls on the field. Now Simmons takes it about 3 metres back off where the mark was. Dunn wrapped up on the 22. Possession has favoured Canterbury. Carter for Kennedy. They've also had it the best in the opposition half. Simmons. He breaks the tackle of Folks, also the tackle of Maguire. But now a knock on from Penrith. Back for Green. Geyer looking to unload, does so for Simmons. Throws a dummy and goes up the middle. Now inside for Carter. Penrith building to something here. Simmons. Fittler. Out wide is Walker with Willis. He drops it. Jason Smith picks it up and the Bulldogs survive. Doolan. There must be so much sweat on the players' jumpers now on this warm night in Wagga. Darren Smith. Got the Smith brothers from Canterbury. Paul Smith out on the wing for Penrith. Kyle White. That ball looks forward.
Pretty uncommon name too, isn't it? Smith.
Makes it nice and difficult. Brown called back for a knock on. But I thought it was originally forward anyway. He was into the clear, according to McCallum, if he could have hung on. Carter. Fittler. He hasn't cut loose as yet. Bradley. Bradley might, though, right up the middle. Millie through all the way. Quick play the ball. Carter tries to get out of there. He's got support from Simmons. Canterbury really hanging on here. 9 handling errors against Canterbury, the 6 to Penrith. Paul Clark. Midfield. Simmons has to throw a long ball to Carter to kick through. Kevin Moore and Carter. It's Carter again. Carter replaces Alexander. And maybe even Greg Alexander couldn't have done it any better in their second quarter. Carter's got a double that has really fired up his Panthers side. The kick again, he charged down one, and this time on the Lotto replay, it was a kick of his own. He saw that nobody was home and grabbed his second.
Ewan McGrady wasn't in position at fullback, and Carter read it and read it well. He put the kick through. Kevin Moore was alerted to it, but he got there too late.
The secret to a good kick close to the attacking line is to take the defence on. Carter ran to the defensive line before he kicked through, gave no inkling to Moore, who couldn't get across, and outsped him for the ball.
Stevie Carter, try number 2 in the second quarter, with just 3 minutes remaining to half-time. Kai, successful with his only attempt from wide out on Carter's first try. And this big crowd, a crowd that would have plenty of Canterbury supporters down with the influence from this Riverina region, with the famous Mortimer brothers and Greg Brentnell, who played so well for the Bulldogs. A little bit stunned, waiting for Canterbury to post their points. Mackay. Again strikes it well, and again he gets 2 more. And Mackay and Carter do the business for Penrith, and it's 12-0 over Canterbury. And they lead 12-0 at half-time here in the second semi-final of the Lotto Challenge. Here in Wagga Wagga. And the lights from that hillside of the Eric Weisel Oval shine down to make it a little bit warmer for the players. It's been Penrith who have hotted it up in this semi-final of the Lotto Challenge with a big second quarter, 2 converted tries, and they will start the third leading 12-0. Canterbury guilty of making a couple of mistakes at their own end. Steve Carter has been the man who has pounced on 2 occasions. McCallum gets the third quarter underway, a vital one for Canterbury. Kennedy unloads for Paul Smith. Good defence from Maguire and Folks. Walker. Simmons. Batanza getting his first touch in this semi-final. Wayne, a terrific second quarter for Penrith. Canterbury's got to do something. What's the report from the dressing rooms?
Well, Chris Anderson wants a lot more pressure put on the Penrith kickers. He feels that they're gaining too much yardage from the kicks, and he also wants his forwards to move up a lot quicker in defence to try and knock out the likes of the Guys, Duns and Cartwrights. Penrith, on the other hand, Phil Gould, he was ecstatic with that first half. He feels complacency could slip in if the guys aren't wary of it. So he's urged his side in particular to keep working and playing the ball quickly.
He would have wanted a nice start here to this third quarter, but a mistake that gives Canterbury the ball. McCracken. They only got a clearance from the New Zealand League to be available last Friday. 133 first half tackles for Penrith. Doesn't quite tell the scoreline, does it? 22 tackles from Paul Dunn against his old club. 104 from Canterbury, 18 from Folks. Maguire, good ball for Newton. Newton's got support, dragged in by Jason Smith. Canterbury get it away, now McCracken, it comes unstuck. Good chance, goes begging. A couple of occasions they're just guilty of trying to force the last pass when it's not really on. Terrific ball here from Newton. Dragged in nicely by Jason Smith, and around the back he tried to pop it up from McCracken, but it wasn't on. It's the inexperience from some of the young players. Bittler. Kennedy. The scrums are all square. Batanza. And off a Canterbury player into the waiting arms of Mitch Newton. So the ball, Greg McCallum said, was punched out by Canterbury. And Newton was certainly in an offside position.
Well, just imagine, what do you do if you're Mitch Newton? The ball's in the air, it's sitting in front of you. You've got to catch it, haven't you? You can't look at it.
I don't think he saw the first impact either. He just saw the ball coming his way. Mackay. With this kick from about 35 metres out to make it a lot tougher for Canterbury to come back. So much can happen in four-quarter football, as the Broncos showed in that fight back against Illawarra. They were down 12-0 and won 16-14 to climb into the final. Took out the knockout competition in '89 at the Parramatta Stadium. And now Brisbane will make their way to Broken Hill on Sunday. We're looking at 200,000 for the winner of the Lotto Challenge. Who will it be, Penrith or Canterbury? A lot of football to be played in this one. Mackay. Mackay gets his third. And Canterbury with the job ahead here in Wagga. It's 14-0 over Canterbury.
We can't deny Penrith and what they've done in this competition, Graeme, but can we? A very impressive record, better than any side. They've beat Souths in the first round, 40-8, then knocked over East 20-0, and leading here 14-0.
Canterbury fumbling again. So they just can't keep possession. This Penrith side, who had a super year in '90, have started so well in '91. Ben Alexander. Paul Clark. Taken by Newton. 16 those handling errors from Canterbury. Kennedy. Taken quickly by Folks, who has made a mile of tackles in this semi-final. Cartwright. Out for Fittler, who was hammered. Quick hands from Canterbury. Doolan. Taken by Smith. McGrady. He will have to go in search of it now, create his own chances. McCracken. 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And it's the Panthers 14-0. White. Moore. Maguire looking for a runner. They were too far away. There was a half gap there for somebody if they had been closer. Well picked up by Brown. Back for McGrady. He doesn't quite get the kick. Straight up in the air, more so. Down for Paul Smith. And he's taken by McCracken. Simmons. Your advice to the Bulldogs, Wayne?
Well, I really think that what they've got to try and do is one, speed up the tempo of the game by playing the ball quickly, darting from dummy half. And secondly, what they've got to do is use a long kick and turn these big Penrith forwards around. And the Penrith forwards, when they do have to go back for a kick, are a bit lethargic in getting back there.
Fittler. Inside for Bradley. Now McCallum is going to have a warning for a Canterbury tackler. He's calling out Gillies. Bradley had stepped inside. He came inside Fittler. And Gillies with that swinging. Well, Maguire, I think, was the man who ended up high. But also a chat to Gillies. But a tackle that looked as though it might have started around the chest before it went up. It will give Penrith a terrific chance here to put points on the board. Ben Alexander sends them into the 22. 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Batanza. Alexander. Green. Bradley. So many players in this Penrith side with a height advantage who can stand out wide and unload. Dunn. Or even right up the middle too, like Dunn. Green. 11 metres away, the Panthers. Simmons was dummying to 2 and 3 runners, then he ran out of support and had to switch back. 10 metres out. Taken by Gillies and knocks on. So a little bit slow in the play of the ball, Penrith. They will allow Canterbury to come up with it. Folks taken quickly. Robinson. No success in busting this Penrith line in the third quarter. Castle.
They've tried a few things too, Graeme. They've tried to go through them, they've tried to go around them, but they've only tried to go over them once with a chip. Maybe that's what they've got to resort to again.
Ben Alexander for Fittler. How is that? How is that for catching a football? At his feet, on the boil, he just scooped it up and said thanks very much. It is real skill. Well worked on the Lotto replay. He was careering onto that, thrown at his knees, and he took it well.
This fellow is all class. Look how he ran back into the hole, picked up an impossible ball and scored.
All that happened here was Brad Fittler just ran into the hole, as Billy pointed out. It wasn't a real good ball from Alexander, but he picked it up well.
A little bit of a joke between the two, maybe, about the pass. 19 years of age, pro footballer with a ton of skill. The youngest kangaroo from the tour of Great Britain and France makes his mark on this semi-final, as has Mackay with 3 from 3. Steve Folkes trying to do his best to say to them a try. 3 from 3. Trying to maintain that 100% record. But he won't bring this one around. But it will remain an impressive Penrith scoreline. It's 18-0 here over Canterbury, and that is all there is in the third quarter. A remarkable comeback needed by the Bulldogs. 8 to surface for this last 20 minutes in the semi-final of the Lotto Challenge, and that halfway line that Canterbury certainly do have to cross a lot more. In this final quarter, they're behind by 18 points. And Penrith at this stage are final bound in the Lotto Challenge. 20 minutes remaining. Paul Smith to bring it back. Penrith starting to enjoy a lion's share of possession. And they bring it out of the 22. And the possession in the opposition half starting to favour Penrith very strongly. Canterbury had it nearly in the first 2 quarters. But they really piled it on in the third. Walker. It's been Penrith's match as this game's worn on, especially in the forwards.
Terrific ruck plays. They're a very well-drilled side, and once they get a share of possession on you, they're always going to make progress up the middle of the rucks. Their forwards work so well and support.
Bulldogs looking for something special. McCracken. What was those final instructions, Wayne?
Well, Graeme, the tone in Chris Anderson's voice wasn't terribly confident. I don't think he's expecting any miracles. But what he's asked for is to continue to put pressure on the Penrith defence by increasing the tempo of the game. That's all he's asked for this quarter.
They tried to there, and a little short ball knocked down by Steve Carter. Simmons screaming at Cartwright to get to his feet. Carter. The kick for outside men. Through the legs of McGrady. Carter will get a hat-trick. It's been Steve Carter's night here in Wagga. And he's celebrating in a big way. He has given the crowd here plenty to cheer about. Tremendous individual efforts, all 3. Enjoy it again. He got a good bounce here. McGrady on the Lotto replay may have taken a look at the defence coming down. And Carter just put his toe to it a second time on the spot for 3 big ones here in Wagga.
Well, you can get a result if you put the ball in front of you in McGrady and have attack coming through at him. And here you see Steve Carter getting the result. The kick went through. McGrady took his eye off it. Carter knew that it was simply a matter now of putting the ball ahead over the line and falling on it.
I think Carter might as well go and buy a Lotto ticket tomorrow and fill in the coupon, because his luck's really in. But you've got to be tenacious in the chase. He was certainly tenacious here. He chased right to the end. He showed great peripheral vision to find the gap and scored the try.
Steve Carter. And the number 7 of Penrith. Outstanding. Kai. He misses another one now. But the tries are on the board. Big scoreline, 22-0 to Penrith. Canterbury can always find an error leading to a try, and it was that error from that pass that gave the possession back to the Panthers from Jason Smith. Smith. Brad Izzard suffering blisters. Wearing some nice soft casuals here in Wagga. As he tries to recover in time, you would think now for the final. In Broken Hill on Sunday. We'll see it at 5:30 on 10 Sport. What a great clash for a final early in the year. The Broncos and the Panthers. Sunday, 10th of March. A Lotto challenge at 91. And you're thinking the form of halfback. I know Carter's just quietly moved to 5'8" now that Ben Alexander has jumped out there, but the form of Langer has been sensational for Brisbane. What a duel there'll be at Broken Hill. The two number 7s. Barwick. To the in goal, but dead. And back to the 22. Folks, for Maguire. Just have the kicks in play, Penrith. But those kicks have been fatal. A charge down by Carter on one of the Canterbury kicks and 2 kicks for himself that have led to tries. Kevin Moore. Jason Smith. Thirteen of those kicks have come from Steve Carter, in fact, from Penrith. Darren Smith. 6 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Castle. Good ball that he popped up for Kevin Moore to link up with Darren Brown. Can't stay away. He can stay away from the sideline. Robinson. One of the few occasions that they've gone wide and found a break. Last tackle. Kevin Moore, they're going to run it. Nothing else to do. McGrady. Absolutely smothered. Absolutely hammered by Kennedy. 6 more tackles for the Bulldogs. McGrady's back up on his feet. Touch judges come in.
This will be a penalty to Penrith.
Had the luxury of being able to rest Geyer in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Not asking too much from him. Castle. Castle gets clear. Moore's on the inside. He'll score. Moore will score under the post. Good support play, but it's all coming a little too late for the Dogs. As Kevin Moore goes under the black spot. A rare break, but a good one from Castle, who has been running strongly. And he heard the call on the Lotto replay, and he positioned Kevin Moore well. Just grabbed by the arms as he popped it up inside. Looked a line ball.
Castle did well here. Have a look at him. He breaks the line. Carter misses the tackle. He went too low on him. But then Kevin Moore came up in support. Now that pass, there was a hint of a forward in that, no doubt about it. But Kevin Moore wasn't about to stop.
Troy Castle's added a lot of spark to this side since he came on. It was just sheer determination here. Got on the outside of Carter. Ran into a gap. I definitely thought this pass was forward, but nevertheless, Moore takes the pass and scores a try. 4 points on the board.
They get on the board at last. Kevin Moore at age 25, the gym manager, and our Lotto man of the match in their win over Canberra. Darren Brown from right in front. They put a dent in that scoreline at long last, Canterbury, in this semi-final in Wagga. It's 22-6. Willis is taken. Barwick. Carter it was in that front line. 22 now, those handling errors getting right away from Canterbury. Vitanza. Pops it back for Simmons. Then Alexander. Alexander gets away from some poor defence. They thought they just had him. We're going to put him down easy, but everybody fell off him. And with 6 minutes to go, Alexander gets a try for Penrith. Sloppy play from Canterbury on the Lotto replay. Steve Folkes, their best defender tonight, just wrestled with him. He could have got some more support from others standing around. And Alexander under the post.
No excuse for this, but if you're looking for a reason, it's the fact that Folkes didn't hit with the shoulder. Now, you'll see it here. The Tans are offloaded to Simmons. Simmons started to spread. It was to Ben Alexander. Now, Folkes grabs him, but there's no shoulder hit there. No one to put him on the ground. He just pulls free and scores a simple try.
Alan Langer did exactly the same thing the other night. We see Ben Alexander do it here tonight. Folkes didn't go in with any real commitment. He looked to try and tie up the ball, and as a result of that, Alexander here just bounces free of the tackle and goes over to score what turned out to be quite a simple try.
Canterbury are guilty again of a handling error that leads to a Penrith try. 19 years of age. Make it 4 from 6. The Panthers 28-6 over Canterbury. 4 minutes remaining in this semi-final. Then you would have to run with Penrith.
I'd go with Penrith. I feel that they've got good players to come back into their side. I'd expect Greg Alexander to be in. I'd expect Izzard to come into the team. And they're a team that can play it whatever way you like. I don't know that Brisbane can do that.
Fittler out wide for Bradley. And Bradley does the favour back for Fittler, who does it inside for Alexander. That's fine play. That is good play. I'm not going to criticise any defence here. You can lay on any defence. If you've got some ball-playing skill and standing in tackles like this, this is excellent rugby league. On the Lotto replay, the long one out for Bradley to stand. Now watch how quickly Fittler goes back. He knows somebody's coming. It's Alexander. Ben Alexander, who gets his second. Great backing up.
Fittler started it with a long ball. He cut a man out and got it over the top to Bradley. Bradley's so tall, he was able to get his hands free, keep the ball alive, and then it was Fittler again. He came on the loop, got the pass back inside. Ben Alexander read that very well. He knew exactly where to bob up.
Ben Alexander. Maybe the last piece of action in this semi-final. Why not knock it right down the middle? He does just that as the siren sounds here at the Eric Weisel Oval in Wagga. And the Panthers have shown this big crowd here in Wagga just